Welcome everyone, this is ZoZo Stock Watch, and this is your stock watch list for Tuesday, October 10th. So let's go ahead, we'll get right into it. Today was a bank holiday, so volume was a little bit light today, but we'll go ahead and see what we can find for tomorrow. First thing we need to do though, let's check and see what companies are reporting. After the bell tomorrow, we got CUDA, C-U-D-A, and VOXX reporting after the bell tomorrow, October 10th, Tuesday. For economic information on the small business report at 6 a.m. Make sure you wake up to hear that report. Next up, we have the Red Book at 8:55 in the morning Eastern Time. 10 o'clock, we have Fed Speak, Neil Kashkari. We have the ever important API crude oil data at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and usually the subscription guys get this at 4:30, and the rest of us get this at 4:35 p.m. for the API crude oil data. Then we have some information coming from Japan, machine orders at around 10 to 8 Eastern Time. Tuesday night, and 8 p.m. we have Rob Kaplan doing some Fed speak. Okay, the big thing this week is going to be this Wednesday, the FOMC meeting. That seems to be, something that everybody's going to be wanting to, see, and how the Fed is thinking. So that'll be on Wednesday, the 11th. So just keep that in mind. And, no major reports until I think Thursday, when we start getting some banks. So they'll be reporting. All right, so for your earnings call tomorrow, the only one you have is this CUDA at 4:30, and this is courtesy of Earnings Cast. If we go ahead and get into courtesy of the Trade Exchange sending us over, and you can get this each night via email. Just reach out to at the Trade Exchange on Twitter, and they'll gladly email you this each night. Some top gainers: CLNT, ONTX, NSPR, ALT, INTT, VERI, HLX, CUI, MULE, nice pop in that MULE, MTBC, ICHR. For top losers, you had TNDM, KTWO, CYTX, XXII after they did that offering. I think it was like a $60 million or $54 million offering by XXII. DVA got a downgrade today. AAC, AMED, VIAB also downgraded today. PTCT, FLXN, CON was downgraded, and AFAM, that one was down today. For your options call activity, ARNC, BERY, BLDP, CL, DISH, HIMX, and this Lending Club LC. For the put activity, Disney, which has been weak lately, First Solar, GE's been very weak, GPS, JCPenney, JD, Kellogg's Company, KKR, and VLO, Valero Energy. That's the put activity. For your futures tonight, Dow futures are up 3, S&P futures are flat, NASDAQ futures are down, a point or half a point right now. So basically a little bit of flatness in the overnight session. So let's go ahead and take a little some look at some sectors. Let's start out with the SPY here. A little bit of a pullback to the 5 EMA, not too much damage, trying to get above that 254.80, 255. Just basically pulling back to this 5 EMA, the yellow dotted line you see here, and that was on about 36 million shares today, so light volume because of the bank holiday today with the markets. And don't forget, Canada also had their Thanksgiving weekend, so Canadian markets were closed also. If we go ahead and take a look at the Qs, a little bit of a pullback here on the Qs. Down to about that 147.30 spot. So we'll go ahead and move our line down to about that area, 147.30 spot for the Qs. But, a little chink in the armor, but not much, and still holding above the 5 EMA. If we look at the IBB, back to the 5 EMA after not being able to, bust out here on the IBB, but we're still above the 10, we're still above the 20, and still holding the 5 EMA. So not much damage there. IWM, same thing. This one we did pullback a little bit below the 5 EMA. We had been riding that all the way up. We got up, it's kind of like a rounded top maybe happening here, but we do have the 10 SMA, so maybe it just needs to catch up the 10 SMA. So we'll see what we do when we get to that 10 SMA, which is currently at 148.80 for the IWM. And then the IWC, the micro caps, this also pulled back a little bit today, but still holding the 5 EMA, so still not much damage there. Needs to get over that 97 spot, and even if this came down to the 10 SMA, which is around 95.11, so that still wouldn't be too bad for the IWC. It would still be very bullish. So let's see what they want to do with that tomorrow. IYT, a little bit more of a severe pullback here. We were down about a fraction here, but we are, the 5 is starting to maybe cross over the 10 SMA, and we are below the 10 SMA here on the IYT. This is the ETF for the transports. If we go ahead and look at the Dow, we'll look at it with the diamonds here. Still holding above the 5 EMA. Not much damage today in the DIA, the diamonds. Next up, let's take a look at oil. And oil for the day was up a fraction, trying to hold this 50 SMA on oil. The VIX, let's look at the VIX real fast, and popped a little bit, but we came up off of about this $9 area on the VIX, and we got up to about 10 and change on the VIX. If we go ahead and look at it on the weekly chart, you see how complacent it's been. So just keep that in mind for the VIX. Some names we'll look at. Facebook had some intraday selling, popped up over this, this 174 spot on Facebook, and then pulled back. So kind of like an inverted hammer here right now on Facebook. Apple today, indecisive candle here, still below the 50 SMA on Apple. Amazon got up near that, this 1,000 area and pulled back from that. And Google, pretty much same thing, got up to this 1,000 spot here. The highs here were 988, so really a little bit further off from 1,000 than Amazon. Anyway, so we have kind of like a top here. We pushed up to that 988 area here and also here. So a little bit of an indecisive candle, but we are still above all the fast moving averages on Google. We'll look at price line. Kind of an inverted hammer here as it broke out through that resistance area. And then real quick, we'll just look at Nvidia. This got through that 182 spot. It's back above the 5 EMA and holding very strong in Nvidia. SMH, break out to new highs here on the SMH. And another one that really moved well today was MU, up through that $40 level on MU. So nice powerful move there by MU. And AMD was up at one point. Yeah, AMD had popped but pulled back on AMD. And then the biggest name in the SMH, Intel. Look at this run in Intel off of this 34.50. We're up to close to 40 now on Intel. So big move there in Intel. And just take a look at Qualcomm, still not participating, and AVGO trying to get up and over this 50 SMA on Broadcom Limited. And if this one gets going, the SMH, might do really, really, really well. So that's just some stocks quickly that we went through. And we'll go ahead and we'll get into that watch list for you. So some stocks I have on watch for tomorrow. This alt was popping, came up on my trade ideas scanners during the day. And unfortunately, the market was moving down at the time. So I was seeing a lot of things popping, but I couldn't take them because the SPY was basically trading at the lows, so I had to pass on it. But this ALT, 1.4 million shares, you see the big volume here on this biotech name, so this one will be on watch, maybe intraday trade. APHB, kind of basing here above the let me get rid of some of these lines for you. Basing here above this 10 SMA and also the 50 SMA for APHB, back over the 5. I think, for this one we have to get back over, this 135 spot here, 134. and then it becomes even more interesting. You can imagine, there were some comments from Korea. So gold, GLD was popping a little bit. Nice, nice continuation move here on GLD and SLV. So this BAA, which is an under 50-cent stock, nice pop, 1.2 million shares, and a nice pop from this $40 level. Now it needs to take out that highs from today around 49.51 cents. Just remember, over here you have a high of about 61 cents. That pop recently back in that was back in August, on August 29th. So if you're trading this one, just keep an eye on this candle here. But if it breaks up through 50, you might get a continuation move. Blackberry actually held up today. We're swing trading this one, and we actually took some off the table on this pop here on Blackberry. Had some call activity on the name. It's been holding the 5 EMA, and so Blackberry, we'll see if that one wants to set up for an intraday trade or something like that. But we're currently in Blackberry, and hoping it breaks out over 1150, and then that 12 spot on Blackberry. BSPM, nice pop in this name today. 3.1 million shares traded, so this will be one watch intraday. Another drug manufacturer, BSPM. CCIH, we traded this one over $1.10 today, and the stock ran up to $1.39. So a very nice trade this one gave us today. CCIH, when it broke over that $1.10 and gave a nice continuation move. 3.4 million shares traded, and a nice pop. So we'll see if this one wants to set up again. CLNT, this one, Clean Tech Solutions. We also got a trade in this one for about 30 cents and 16.6 million shares. So this one will be on watch tomorrow, see if it wants to give us another trade. CLSN, you see the nice pop it had here up to about $6. Now we've pulled back a few days in a row. We're back above the 5 EMA. The 10 needs to catch up, I guess, a little bit, but over this 4 spot, this one might get going again. CLSN. It would be nice if this one could rest another day or two. ETE. This one was mentioned by the Nigerians. Some call activity going on here. So maybe if this can break out over that 18 level, the 200 SMA is at 1807. So maybe 1810 might be enough to get this one going. It's oil and gas, and there was call activity in the name, according to the Nigerians on CNBC. GENE, nice pop today. Once again, another name I could not trade in the afternoon. Saw it popping off my trade ideas scanners, and but the SPY was moving down, and North Korea was making comments, something about the U.S. tried to assassinate the leader over there in North Korea, and so anyway, the SPY was selling off, and there was just, no way to take these trades. It was just a little too dangerous. But this HLX popped also, almost 5 million shares traded. Popped off the 50 SMA. There's chatter around this name, HLX. And I think HOS was also popping, but not like HLX. All right, so HLX will be on watch to see if there's any kind of continuation move in that name. Hey, if you're not doing anything, Wednesday night, October 11th, come take a sign up for my webinar on October 11th at 9 p.m. Okay, I'm trying to get some folks from the West Coast to participate, and of course, you East Coasters are welcome also. Everybody's welcome, and we're going to talk market, stocks, philosophy, trading, talk about my service, things like that. So just fill out the form below, put your email in, your name, and we will send you the access to the webinar, and that's going to be Wednesday, October 11th at 9 p.m. and come in. Feel free to ask questions, and we'll shoot the breeze, talk trading, swing trading. We're a day trading and swing trading service. All right, let's get back to the stocks on watch for tomorrow. So here's this Mbot, and I was watching this one pretty much all day today to see if it would break out over this 150. And obviously there's some supply up here. We cannot break this 150, and then that's also that 0.50 is psychological resistance, organic resistance. Anyway, we couldn't break over that 150, and if it does, though, we have a chance to pop. So I'll keep this one on watch another couple of days or so. MTBC. This one trying to break out back over this 315 spot on MTBC. We had this big pop, then we had a nice pop on Friday, and now we're kind of just basing above the 5 EMA. If it can get over maybe 315, 316, this one could maybe continue. NITE has been a recent IPO. You see it popped all the way up to 25. Then we pulled back, and Roku kind of did the same thing. It popped, pulled back, and then turned back up. So maybe this NITE, it's a biotech. If this can get back over, we'll call it 1775 or so on NITE. Like I said, check the spreads and whatnot on this name to see if it's tradable. But if this can get over that 1775, you might get a trade in that name. And let me get rid of this line too. Next up, we'll take a look at ONCS. Holding this $1 area, a little bit light on the volume, but I see it's holding above the 100, so not a favorite on this one. We'll see what this one wants to do, but I thought maybe if we can get back over this 110, you might get a continuation move in this ONCS. Next one up is this ONTX, and big pop in this one all the way up to 275. 4 million shares, another bio name, above the 200, above the fast moving averages. So this one will be on watch, see if it sets up intraday. OPTT, I don't know. I guess if it can get back over $1.55 on OPTT, maybe it has a chance. So it would have to get over $1.55 for me on that name. PAAS. This one is finally getting above the 50 SMA. It's held the 400 SMA, held it here, popped, held it here, popped, held it here. So maybe this third time will break out finally over this 18 area. So watch this one, PAAS, over this 18 area. RGSE, nice pop this morning, and I watched this one. We actually tried to trade this one, but I lost about 4 cents on the trade. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, and so I just got right out. And it's holding below this 200 SMA. So maybe if we can get over that, we might get that continuation move in RGSE. RPRX, nice pop in this name, also an under $1 name. Over 16 million shares traded. So we'll see if this wants to set up intraday RPRX on this name. And next one up is going to be this SPEX. And thanks to Korea and the markets moving down, the SPY at the time, I did not want to take this trade, but we saw it coming off of our scanners, and we could have caught this on the very first candle, but I hesitated and I didn't want to get in it while the SPY was moving down. So I'll keep this one on watch for tomorrow to see if it wants to reset. SRAX, another one that popped when the SPY was moving down, and I had to hold off on it. And it was around that 2:30 hour, I guess, almost 3 o'clock. So we passed on the trade, but 3 million shares traded, so maybe this will set up intraday for tomorrow. SRNE, nice pop in this one. 3.2 million shares. It finally got over this $2 spot. So let's see if there's any kind of continuation in that one. And lastly is VICL. Had this big pop, pulled back. We're still holding up here. The high today was 281, so maybe over that 285. Not liking this volume too much. I don't know, 500,000 shares. So we'll see. This one is the last one, not a favorite. And you know, just throwing it out there. So don't forget, I do have this webinar coming up for October 11th. Would love to have you there. Come shoot the breeze. It's at 9 p.m. October 11th, Wednesday. Make sure you sign up, and you know, you're more than welcome if you're a new trader or seasoned trader, and you know, come in and find out about me, find out about my service, and would love to have you. All right, thanks very much for listening. Thank you very much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And please hit the like button. Please retweet these videos. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. And thank you so much. And if you do subscribe, you get email alerts that I've made a video. So thanks very much for listening. Have a great evening all, and we'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday night, for the Wednesday stocks to watch. Thank you so much.